He's near gym.
Macaroni and cheese. No. No.
Hold on, I can try to break. Bring him to gym. Bring him to blue.
I'm working on it.
On my way there.
The sword is disgusting. The sword is too OP. I'm sorry. Hey yo, what is up? What's poppin'? How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening. It doesn't matter what it is for you. I just hope that you're doing quite well. Thank you for stopping by the video. This is the how to use a sword video. If you want to get good with the sword, it is busted. It is so good, and it's high skill, but you know, once you get it down, it's like one of the strongest weapons in the game. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Thank you guys for even clicking on the video, and yeah, let's just go. Alright, so quick rundown of everything on the sword and how it works. Simply, what you do is whenever you swing it, you release this wake, as it's called in the game, that as long as the monster is sitting in it, they start to take damage. And so the way that you keep building up this damage is you keep swinging to the side of them so that they go from one wake into another wake, or, you know, just until you end up, you know, clearing the stigma or just getting the stun, whatever it may be in your scenario. Now, the wake does, as the standard says here, is the wake stays for 1.5 seconds. And the crafting time is standard, 42 seconds, you know, like all the other weapons so far that we've seen. And the weapon ammunition is at 10 swings as base. This weapon is very, very big, as you can see. It is massive.
It is massive.
Alright, now just going ahead and looking at the styles and the mods. Not gonna give you a quick rundown of everything. The Royal Sword, I just use it because it's level 20 and it looks cool. But onto the mods very, very quickly. Swordsmith, it's very, very basic. It takes 25% longer to craft the sword, but you get 4 more sword swings. So, you know, there are some scenarios to bring this, but as a general thing, you don't really need to once you start to get pretty good with it. Next one is Mighty Swings. This one we haven't seen too many uses for. As you can see, the damage wake of a cursed sword slash will last 15% longer. It's kind of weird. There's not really been much use for it found just yet during the beta, but honestly, that could change very quickly. I recommend that you go and, you know, try to figure out some stuff with it. Now for Gale Force, this is actually one of the most valuable weapon mods in the entire game. Basically, the way that it works is if one of your teammates is in the wake of your blade or whatever, they gain a 30% speed boost for 2 seconds. And that's just one wake. So if all 3 of your teammates are near you and you line them up right, you can have all 3 of them get a 30% speed boost for 2 seconds, which is ridiculously, ridiculously powerful. Now the downside, it's one of those things where if you can get used to it, there isn't really a downside, and it just feels like it's base, but with the upside of the movement speed gain for, you know, all of your teammates. Now for Cursed Blade, this is, you know, just like all the other 3 starter weapons. You cannot craft the Cursed Blade until the Cursed Stigma is already gotten rid of, but you can craft it 25% faster after that point. And there's a very good argument for at least one person running this on your team. It's ridiculously valuable, and you know, sometimes you might be able to have 2 people running it, but I don't recommend that. Normally I would just stick to 1. It's a much safer bet, but it is extremely, extremely valuable, especially with how easy Cursed Stigma actually is to clear. And finally, the one that I use because I'm the striker and I find it to be just the most fun and kind of BM and a little memey, Demonic Mark, the level 17 mod. Now, the way that this works is if the monster is in your wake, the monster's aura is completely revealed to your teammates and you for 2 seconds, which lets you actually be able to see kind of how they're going to path, and it tells your teammates, oh, okay, he's right here. So if they have an RC or an eye or a shock sphere or something, and you do that, and you know they're in your wake, your teammates can exactly see where the monster is for 2 seconds and where they're going to go, and maybe be able to predict what their pathing will be after that point. Now the downside's pretty rough. I don't actually recommend running this because of the downside, but I still do it anyway. The way that it works, so as long as the monster's in your wake, right, you get to see them for 2 seconds. The only really big problem is that whenever you swing your sword, you're revealed for 6 seconds. So they can see your exact pathing, they will know exactly where you're going, and it's really, I don't recommend it unless you're extremely confident with the sword, in which case this can be more valuable because you can swing somewhere and, you know, there's a chance that the monster will see you and just start chasing you, and that can buy your teammates a lot of time. But normally the mod that I would recommend for pretty decent players is Gale Force, and if you're a newer player, running Swordsmith is perfectly fine, and I do actually recommend it if you want to try to learn this weapon a lot better. Now, some just general advice or, you know, tips and tricks with the sword. The very starter thing that I should definitely mention, because this is what it's the best for, is kiting. If you don't know how to kite with any weapon, pick up a sword and learn how to kite with it, and you will be 10 times more valuable than your teammates if you're playing in solo queue, or even sometimes if you're playing with your friends. Plus, this is by far the easiest weapon to kite with. There is a little bit of a line to where you have to have a lot of control with it and not overly swing. The reason being that I should also mention is that it only takes 2 sword swings technically to clear the stigma or get the stun or break armor or kill a doll. And so what you normally want to do if you're up against a wart or something, which this weapon is ridiculously powerful against wart, you kind of just want to stay far enough away to the point where if the wart's going to leap at you, you can swing your sword, and as soon as that wake hits that warty boy and he's leaping at you or even just running at you, he can't really go very fast anymore. He's kind of just stuck there, like they can barely move. It's fantastic. And just learning how to kite with it is honestly really easy and starts to translate over to the other weapons a little bit. Namely the ray gun, because it has that 40-meter range, so you know, knowing how to long range kite is extremely valuable, and the sword will teach that to you very strongly. Now that does bring me to my next point, which is having that infinite range and being able to land the stupidest cross map things you have ever thought of. Okay, let's say that your teammate is going to be running through courtyard and hotel. Okay, very simple, very common. Let's say that you know exactly where they're going to be, and let's say that you're near balcony, okay? Let's say that you're on top of balcony, and you're on that right or left side, depending on where you are. The place where the drop-off isn't, where you just fall instead of vaulting. Yeah, over there. You can just start bullying the monster while your teammate's running by just swinging a little bit earlier, and if they try to run through it, you might even be able to get the stun or the stigma, and if not, then that's fine. Actually, the sword is even better to not stun with. So the longer that you can hold on to it, the better, until you're down to about 3 to 4 swings. That's normally when I try to really go for the stigma or the stun, just because I figure rather than immediately getting the stigma or the stun, you know, right away when I have 8 swings left, when I can kite them out for an extra minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes even, sometimes even longer, depending on how good your pathing is and how much you can make them lose track of you. Like, it's way more worth it to just hold on to the weapon until about your last 4 swings once you start to feel confident with it. You gotta definitely get a good feel for it before you can do that and feel the confidence with it. But, you know, once you do get to that point, being able to kite with like 6 swings and then actually just clear the stigma when you're down to 3 or 4 is ridiculously powerful, and that means that by that point you've already bought your teammates time to hopefully finish a weapon, heal, grab the book. There's so many options, and obviously the more time that you can buy, the better for your entire team. It's extremely valuable to be able to, instead of just immediately getting rid of a stigma or just getting a stun while the monster's chasing you, taking that extra time that you have and all of those extra swings and really put every single one to use. Just very quick rundown of actually how to kite really fast, because I forgot to actually mention how to kite well with it. Know your maps and try to run the monster through a lot of doorways or hallways, like I was just saying. You know, making sure that you can, you know, swing your sword early so that if the monster pushes through it, they're very, very much so slowed down, or if they do push through it, you can just kill them. That's kind of just generally what you want to do, is if you know the monster is going to come through a doorway, swing at that doorway. What are they going to do? Kill you? No, they can't, because you're far enough away. Or you might even be really, really close, and it won't even matter, because your sword swing is just that good. The sword is seriously one of the most valuable weapons, and it's a very high skill weapon, so the more skill and the more time that you put into it, obviously, the better you're going to be. You can be absolutely insane with this weapon once you start to get the hang of it. Well, that does seem to be it for me and for this video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope that you guys are able to just go out into the game and try to figure out how to, you know, use this weapon to your advantage, do some crazy stuff with it. Like I said, it's extremely valuable. I personally put it in S tier. It does not matter what mod you put on, it will always be S tier. It is stupidly valuable. And yeah, good luck, and go ahead and have some fun with this. Thank you for watching. Peace. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, maybe subscribe if you do just enjoy my content all around. And yeah, hope that you have a wonderful day.